Once upon a time, I enjoyed being the youngest person in the room. The years go by quickly. But right now, among the many elders who are here, I know that I speak for all of them, saying we're delighted to see the emergence and the new strength of Peak Kayak, our young adult movement. Earlier this year, Pax Christi USA National Council decided to create an award to be given annually to a young adult, defined as under 40. A young adult whose life and work exemplifies the commitment to justice, contemplative presence, faith-based activism, compassion, and prophetic nonviolent witness. All of those which were exemplified by Sister Dianna Ortiz, an Ursuline sister who died in 2021 at the age of 62. Justice and contemplative presence are part of the spiritual charism of the Ursuline Sisters of Mount St. Joseph in Maple Mount, Kentucky, the community to which Sister Dianna belonged. The Sisters of Mount St. Joseph made this year's award possible by their generous support. In November 1989, Sister Dianna, who was born and raised in the United States, was a missionary in Guatemala when she was kidnapped and brutally tortured by military forces. She subsequently spent years bravely pushing the U.S. government to tell the truth about her excruciating experience. Sister Dianna drew on her own ordeal to create Torture Abolition and Survivor Support Coalition, TASSC, which provides tools and assistance for torture survivors to advocate for themselves, to raise awareness of the ongoing use of torture around the world, and to change laws and customs. We are grateful to have Sarah Baumann from TASSC Detroit here as an exhibitor this weekend. Please make sure to see her table. Sister Dianna received the Pax Christi USA Teacher of Peace Award in 2000, and she later served as program director and internship program coordinator from 2009 to 2012 on the national staff and deputy director from 2020 to 2021 before her untimely death from cancer. Sister Dianna had a deep commitment and abiding love for young people. She was both educator and teacher, coordinating the Pax Christi USA internship program.
Joryán Hernández is currently a PhD student at the University of Notre Dame's Kroc Institute. His work explores how theologies of resistance can actualize radical changes to repressive conditions in authoritarian regimes. His goal is to create awareness within religious institutions of the harm endured by those they are called to serve, encourage them to better serve their community, and include them in the political process of liberating Latinx individuals from immutable governments. A Cuban immigrant himself, Joryán believes that a better future must be imagined. As Jose Marti said, con todos y para el bien de todos, with everyone and for the good of everyone. He is a leader at the University of Notre Dame, active with campus activities in solidarity with the Palestinian people, including the call for the university to divest of military contracts. He is among the courageous campus protesters who risk everything in order to stand for human rights, peace, and nonviolence. the very values Jesus champions and that Pax Christi stands for. His piece in the National Catholic Reporter, "I'm a Notre Dame's peace studies student. I was arrested for calling for peace in Gaza," continues to resonate loudly in the hearts of the faithful. What Joryán and so many courageous students around the country stood for is the embodiment of what Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King dreamed of. As Dr. King famously said, "The church must be reminded that it is not the master or the servant of the state, but rather the conscience of the state. It must be the guide and the critic of the state and never its tool. If the church does not recapture its prophetic zeal, it will become an irrelevant social club without moral or spiritual authority. If the church does not participate actively in the struggle for peace and for economic and racial justice, it will forfeit the loyalty of millions and cause men everywhere to say that it has atrophied its will. But if the church will free itself from the shackles of a deadening status quo and recovering its great historic mission, will speak and act fearlessly and insistently in terms of justice and peace, it will enkindle the imagination of mankind and fire the souls of men, imbuing them with a glowing and ardent love for truth, peace, and justice. People far and wide will know the church as a great fellowship of love that provides light and bread for lonely travelers at midnight.
Pax Christi USA is honored to continue the legacy and memory of Sister Dianna Ortiz by celebrating young adults for their creativity. I'm sorry, may I say that again? Pax Christi USA is honored to continue the legacy and memory of Sister Dianna by celebrating young adults for their creativity, faith-filled efforts, and peace and justice, and to give heart to their lifelong commitment to peace building and nonviolence. This award is not only an affirmation of your past and current witness for peace, but it is an encouragement for you for what you will continue to do. On days when it seems too dark and the challenges seem so great, may this award remind you to reclaim and commit to gospel nonviolence and just peace. You have all of Pax Christi USA behind you. Congratulations, Joryán. Come on down and receive your award.
Wow. Wow. I'm gonna try not to cry here, but no promises. Thank you all so much. Thank you, the three of you, for your beautiful words and remarks. I'm so moved. I'm truly honored. First, I would like to thank you all for welcoming me into this sacred space that Pax Christi USA has helped cultivate over the past half-century. It is such a tremendous honor for me to receive an award named after such a remarkable person as Sister Dianna Ortiz. I know that many of you knew her personally, and I would like to ask that you please come up to me as the conference continues and share more stories about her with me. I believe the best way for me to honor her and this award I am receiving in her name is to get to know her through you, who walked with her and accompanied her through some of the most challenging circumstances a human being can endure. On the drive over yesterday from South Bend, I was reminded of one of my favorite words. I was in desperate need of some caffeine, so I looked up the nearest coffee shop, and it just so happened that the coffee shop bore that word in its name: serendipity. I first encountered this term through reading John Paul Lederach, who defines serendipity as accidental sagacity, or as Theodore Remer puts it, quote, discovering something unexpectedly while searching for something else, end quote. For me, it simply names the mystery of God's presence among us. It captures a mindset vital to, I think, peace research and peace building, and that is holding future-oriented goals while maintaining peripheral vision to notice the unforeseen and adapt to its flow. Yet never before has it been harder for me to apply this word than it has been this summer. For the first time since beginning my PhD, I spent the entire summer on Notre Dame's campus, a place where I both learned to apply serendipity in peace building and was punished for doing so, where I sought to stand with the people of Gaza through my academic work, advocacy, and nonviolent protest, yet was ultimately arrested at a Catholic institution that, despite professing a commitment to justice and peace, chose to fund a genocide rather than embody the reconciliation and moral clarity modeled by Jesus in word and deed. However, allow me to express now how receiving this award has been a serendipitous experience for me. Upon receiving Mrs. Charlene Howard's email regarding the award, my first thought was, what have I done to deserve such an honor? I was, at that instant, being confronted by the fact that as immigrant communities face threats and activists mobilized against raids in cities such as Los Angeles, I remained confined to campus, enrolled in an intensive course on a dead language that I must demonstrate proficiency in if I want to stay in the PhD program. I have since begun to reflect on the tension I have felt since receiving Mrs. Howard's email. Yes, there is a sense of guilt that I am in these protected academic spaces while my people are put in cages and having their dignity robbed by ICE. Yes, there is a sense of despair and the thought that nothing I do is enough in a world reeking of empire and wealth and violence and sheer inhumanity. But there is also the acknowledgement, gained only after seeing oneself and allowing oneself to be seen by one's friends, that my still being in a PhD program, after knowing that not only were these academic spaces not built for people who look and sound like me, but constantly try to dehumanize people like me, after being called on scholarly by professors who value tradition over human life, after being arrested, after being failed, I acknowledge that my continued presence in these spaces is a mighty act of resistance. My work in community with your work is important and is needed now more than ever. And I am determined, as I know all of you are determined, to continue failing, to continue being arrested, to continue putting life over institutional politics, because that is the cup we are asked to drink to build the kingdom of God here on earth. So, in closing, I want to say again, thank you to Sister Dianna Ortiz. May her soul rest in peace always. And all who knew her, thank you. Thank you, Pax Christi. Thank you all for creating these sacred spaces where Christ is so vividly felt through you all. Thank you for inspiring me to resist by seeing my own resistance. May we all continue to resist in our actions and, whenever serendipity takes us there, our inaction. Thank you.